Chiliz is forming what most technical analysts would consider a perfect continuation pattern, in addition to it being at its lowest point in a year. So soon we could be seeing a very strong upside movement. Watch till the end for full details. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is King, your host, and as always today's video is for educational purposes only and is not meant to be a financial advice. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if it's your first time in the channel and you happen to benefit from my analysis, then please make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Also share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Now let's go and look at the chart. Starting with the weekly chart, it's very clear that this structure here is not complete. In other words, this upside movement that started in March of last year is not yet finished and still has more to show us to the upside. The first piece of this structure has started right here and has given us an initial impulse to the upside. And this was followed by a correction starting from March of last year until this date. We can't yet tell which type of structure is this one, because if this was a three-wave structure, then this means that we have already formed the initial impulse and we are in the correction right now, which means we should have one more impulse to the upside. So if this is a three-wave structure, we stand right here at this point. But if this was a five-wave structure where we get three impulses and two corrections, this means that at this point we are in this wave of the structure. What matters is that in either one of these two cases, we still have to form more upside from this point going forward in order to at least complete the most basic structure formation. So let's dive deep into this correction now and see if it has ended and when shall we get the next impulse to the upside. There are two ways that we can look at this corrective piece over here. Both of them are valid and both of them imply that this correction has come to an end. The first way is considering this corrective piece as a three-wave running flat, which includes wave A, wave B, and wave C. In this corrective pattern here, it is assumed that the price, after forming its first low at this point, it has gone to form another low, but the selling pressure has faded and the sell momentum has become weaker because despite forming a new low at this point here lower than the previous low, the MACD has had a divergence and it's forming higher lows. So this means we have come to the end of this correction here and we should start expecting an upside movement from this point. And that's one way to look at this corrective setup. Now if we take everything away, the second way to look at this is considering that this corrective pattern here is a flag. And if we were to draw this flag, it would start here at this point, and this is how it's going to look like. As you can see, we have clear support and resistance levels where the price have been retesting over and over through this flag. So it retested the lower side twice and it bounced off the upper side twice as well. Now I personally believe that this point here was the last point of the overall corrective piece, and I have a couple of reasons to believe so. The first reason is the formation of this engulfing bullish candle here near this support level, and this usually implies a reversal at this point. But that's not all, because if we look at the weekly oscillator of this chart, we can see that right when this candle was formed, the weekly oscillator was already exhausted and the price has turned bullish from red to green, which means we are going to exit the oversold area and start moving upwards. So the logic here says that the next move is going to go all the way and retest the upper side of this corrective pattern. And if we take in consideration the first scenario where I explained to you that this is a running flat and it had completed its three waves, this means we are not likely going to get a further complicated correction as soon as we retest this level here. In other words, We're not going to retest and get rejected, then go down and then go up again and then go down until some point here where we get the breakout. So the breakout is most likely going to happen as soon as we come to this level. So to make the long story short, the next logical move is going to be an upside movement from this point here all the way towards the upper side of the corrective pattern. But this move is not yet confirmed to have been initiated. We did already get this engulfing candle on the weekly chart, and that implies a further upside movement, but we still need one more confirmation on the daily chart in order to confirm that we will start moving upside. So now we will go to the daily chart and explain what kind of confirmation is required. If we take a look at this last piece of the bigger corrective pattern on the daily chart, we can see that this one is still in a downtrend. So let's break this down. This last piece has started right here at this point after forming this high and getting rejected on the upper resistance of the corrective pattern. So after this high, we have come down to form this low here, and then we formed lower high, and then lower low, and then lower high, and this was a lower low. So we can clearly say that up till this point over here, we were still in a downtrend. And the logic says we will either continue down or reverse and go up. So in order to get this last move to the upside that we are expecting over here, we'll have to start seeing the price forming highs and lows in the opposite direction of this downtrend here. If this was the last high that we have formed in this downtrend, we will need to see the price go above this last high. So let's take a line at this point here. We will have to see the price crossing above this high. So when that happens, we'd have formed the first higher high, and then if we come back here, we'd have formed the first higher low before continuing up further. So the confirmation that we need at this point is a breakout of this point, which is 24.7 cents. And as soon as we see the price cross above this level, we will at least know that we have initiated an initial uptrend that will take us all the way towards the 47-cent area. Now when we get to this level here, if we end up breaking above this level and continuing up, we'll announce the bigger structure uptrend start. Because as I explained in the beginning, we are still missing one wave of the bigger structure in order to complete that the overall pattern has been completed. So as soon as we break above this level, the overall structure will be in its way to completion. And that's how it should look like. And with this, we have come to the end of today's analysis. I would like to ask you to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me, what do you think of the analysis, and if you have any opinion, how far do you think Chiliz is going to go from here, and how much growth potential do you think it's going to achieve this year? If you have enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. This was me, King, and until next time, stay safe and see you later.